think about the beer that defines craft, right now it's IPA. And then when you think IPA, you think about hops, and you think about hops and IPAs, it's a lot of hops. It's not just a little bit. My name is Jamie Emerson. I'm the brewmaster at Full Sail Brewing Company. One of the fascinating things about brewing where we brew in Hood River, all the hops in the United States basically are grown within 100 miles either way from Hood River, either the Valley or Yakima. You know, there are very few breweries that fit in that parameter of where you can get everything so close. Being in the Northwest, it's a really lovely place to be and literally lovely place to brew beer. Historically, hops were used in the brewing industry in several different ways. You had large brewers who were looking for acres and acres of a certain kind of aroma hop, or they didn't really care about aroma. They were looking for an extract and just cans of syrup, basically. What you've seen with the rise of craft is really a shift more towards these interesting hop varieties, mainly because you have these people who are using such large amounts of hops. You see things that aren't necessarily in line with what old school hop rates used to be, where you have a little of this and a little of that. Now it's like, no, we're going to load it up and we're going to double load it up and see what we get. And I think it's been kind of a two-way street, because what you've had is people using a lot and then saying, I would like this. And the hop industry is saying, well, hell, we got this, check this out. And I think that's what's been really cool. It's kind of this two-way street.
My name's Ben Smith of B&D Farms. I farm here in St. Paul with my brother Dave. We started back in 1985. It's a really exciting time to be a U.S. hop farmer right now because of the demand for hops and the varieties that we are growing. They've been wanting more aroma varieties for the craft brewers, and without that, there would be no interest in developing a different type of hop. The Pacific Northwest is home to the majority of the U.S. hop acreages because the abundance of acreage, of ground that you can grow hops on, the abundance of water, and the climate. It is a very quiet region to raise crops in. You don't get wide ranges of storms or weather patterns. It's very consistent during the growing season. The U.S. hop growers are meeting the needs of brewers by expanding their facilities, planting more acres, updating their facilities, choosing varieties that are disease resistant, that have good yields, good aroma, so that we have a consistent supply for the brewer when they need it.
When we're looking for hops around recipes, especially for beers that we brew all the time, we want to have a good, consistent growth quality to them and have an expectation year to year that we'll have similar harvest characteristics. When we're buying hops, we'll buy multiple varieties, 20 to 30 varieties. Cascade, Crystal, Nuggets, Northern Brewers, Centennials, Summits, Mosaic, some Amarillo, some Citra, Clusters, going back old school, Willamettes. That's not all of them. The different varieties not only give you different aromatics, but they also give you different flavor as well. Originally, high alphas were developed for making extract for people to use for putting in the kettle as extract. And I think what ended up happening was there were some hops that were developed that actually had really good aromas that had high alpha content, where not only do you get an aggressive bitterness or can be an aggressive bitterness, but you also get an interesting aroma across the top. Where aroma hops tend to fall into lower alpha, where you'd have to use more green material to get that same kind of bitterness level because they have less alpha acid. As brewers, it's easy to say, hey, I've got 5,000 pounds of Cascade's great. I got a truckload of malt coming. But then knowing the guys behind all that stuff is really, to me, very interesting. I live between the two big growing districts. I'm friends with the farmers. I like the idea of Buy American. We have great varieties. We have great raw material. It doesn't mean that Europeans' raw material is bad. It's also great. But I've got my local guys. right? That's who I would support.